In one of her more recent books, entitled Plan B, Further Thoughts on Faith, the American author Anne Lamott makes one of her typical, brutally honest, but winsome insights, where she writes, "You've really got to love this about God, consistently assembling the motliest ragtag bunch to help bring into this lonely old frightening world God's commitment for compassion and community. It's a centuries-long reality show," writes Annie, "of Moses, the stutterer, Rahab, the first of the red-hot mamas, Mary, the homeless teenager, and Zacchaeus, the crooked IRS agent. Not to mention all the mealy-mouthed disciples who thought they knew better." Then Anne Lamott continues, "Not to mention a raging, insecure narcissist like me." Well, this coming Sunday is called Pentecost, remembered and celebrated each year as the birthday of the church. Think about it. The church, Christ's ongoing body, writes Paul, in the world. A rather peculiar people, as Anne Lamott has also observed, yet deeply loved, forgiven, treasured, and called by Christ's ongoing Spirit to share his word of salvation, of healing and hope, about a solidarity in suffering as a people of belonging, a community, in a world that's filled with such deep loneliness. So this weekend, I'd like for us to consider some fundamental questions regarding the church. First, who or what is the church? Second, whose church is it anyway? And thirdly, for what sake does the church exist? That is, what is the church's purpose or our mission together? On this coming weekend that we call Pentecost Sunday, join with me in listening in again and looking at the portrait that Jesus paints for us in our gospel lesson from John chapter 15, verses 26 through 7, and then again in chapters 16, verses 4 through 15. It's then followed by St. Luke's account of the event of Pentecost itself in Acts 2, verses 1 through 21. It's an amazing picture, but even more, it's an amazing people of God, called and gathered and enlightened together in community by Christ's ongoing Spirit. Look at those two middle letters with me of the word spelled church. Who's the church? Ah, peculiar folk are we, yet treasured by God. So come and join us for worship this weekend in person at our Vesper service at 5 on Saturday evening, or again at 9 a.m. on Sunday morning for our traditional service, or 11 o'clock for our contemporary service. All services will include communion this coming weekend. And please note that our usual 11 o'clock telecast on KSFY is being moved to Fox TV this weekend due to the Indy 500. However, as usual, the 9 and 11 services will be live streamed. Dear Pentecost people, God's grace to you this day and always.